Well, hello, members. How are you all doing? This is Auntie, and we are going to have a candid discussion, okay, about Megan Thee Stallion. Now, look, y'all know I'm old, okay? And some of the stuff I keep up with, and some of the stuff I have not been. But today, I wanted to spend some time with you all talking about this Megan Thee Stallion issue. Now, since we've been having problems with connectivity and you all getting the notifications, just wanted to come out here and do it here to make sure that you all could get it right. Hello there, Shantaria. Hey, Boo. Hey, Jad. Hey, Miss Nicole. Hey, Raydella. Hello, Yellow Moon. So we'll wait for the other ones to come in. We know they kind of be straggling in and everything. But I really wanted to talk about this incident that happened with Megan Thee Stallion. Like I said, some of it I've been keeping up with, right? And some of it I have not been. But she recently did. Hey, Monique. Hey, EJ. She recently did a interview with Gayle, and I thought it was very, very interesting from an old woman's perspective, right? Because y'all don't get out. Okay. But and I wanted to get you all's thoughts about it and everything. I'm going to put the link in the chat so that you all can come up and we can talk about it. But then again, y'all don't be hitting that link, so I don't know if I'm putting it in there. Okay, but I really do want to talk about it because it has been um in the news for quite some times. I'm going to be reading from a couple of periodicals just to kind of make sure that I'm accurate in the information that I'm giving to you all. I'll make sure that I put it down in the description box. Members, I'm hoping you all had a great day today. That you woke up with a positive perspective on everything. Remember that you need to be grateful and thankful for everything, right? Um, and I just love you all to pieces. You all are um, that mechanism that keeps Auntie ticking and rolling and rolling and rolling. And so I'm extremely grateful for your membership. Um, like I love y'all to pieces. Okay. So let me bring up this article. I'm going to be reading from it and then I'm going to be giving my perspective about it. Please, members, do not fail to let me know what you think in that comment section, right? So let me go here. So I went to CBS.com. This is where this is going to be coming from. And Megan, they opened up this article with, I really thought we were all friends. Megan Thee Stallion recounts alleged 2020 Tory Lanez shooting incident. Um, it says in the early summer of 2020, when rapper Megan Thee Stallion became a household name with her hit single Savage. But before she was known professionally as Megan Thee Stallion, she was Megan P, a Houston, Texas native with big dreams. She says, I've always been confident. I've always been loud. I've always been outgoing. Like I've always just enjoyed entertaining. When I look now, I'm like, dang, we really did this. Megan Thee Stallion told CBS co-host Gayle. Her confidence, sound, and outsized personality on social media built her a fan base of hotties, as she calls them. So, Megan says that she was, wait a minute, hold on. She said they were best friends. It was only three of us at the time. Megan Thee Stallion said, like when I went to school, it was a little different with me interacting with other kids, and her parents just really let me know, like you can never ever let somebody else insecurities make you feel insecure. But it was in July 2020 when Megan Thee Stallion said she would go through something she still has nightmares about to this day. Now, what I found very interesting in looking at Megan, was, she had begun to share in the interview about, her mom being, in the business and recording and stuff like that, and how she was, really um admiring her mom and all that kind of stuff. And as soon as she hit big, she lost her mom. And I think for me, just hearing that from a mother's perspective, it's almost like she needed to connect, or to have like a family, if you will. And a lot of times, young people and sometimes even older people, when we experience a tragedy or such a great loss, we gravitate to people or things that just not, sometimes they're just not good for us, right? And but there's that inner gut feeling that tells you this, something ain't right about this. Even when you let me think of how to say this, because I really want to be careful on how I say this. Even when you think that people are in your corner, you got to really, really know who really got your back and who really has your best interest at heart. Because people can show up, honey, as wolves in sheep clothing. And it's not until you begin to pull back the layers. Now, I believe that with a lot of celebrities, they don't have the opportunity, because things are moving fast. They partying, all kinds of stuff are going on. But I heard something that Megan said in her interview. She had mentioned that she had gotten out of the car. If I'm not mistaken, she said she got out the car. But she got back in, and something told her, don't get back in the car. Let me tell you something. If you get that instinct, which we call sixth sense, you got to go with that instinct. You cannot ignore your sixth sense, because that's that gut intuition. That's that discernment. That's that spirit man, that warning call that's saying, pump the brakes. You have to use that to your advantage. You cannot ignore your gut instinct with any relationship. Some relationships are meant for a season, some are meant for a reason, some seasons are reasons, right? Like all that. So let me finish reading up on this real quick for y'all, okay? So she says, but after leaving a house party in the Hollywood Hills with rapper Tory Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, and a friend from Houston, she said there was an argument in the car because she wanted to leave and other people didn't. In quotes, it says, it was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. No, Megan, it's not. Megan Thee Stallion told King, it shouldn't have got this crazy. The argument was with the two people in the back seat. So I asked the driver to pull the car over like I'm done with this. So when you're done, be done. Now, she says, and I should have stayed out the car. Gut. That's your mofo gut. You gotta go with your first instinct. Your mind, body, soul, spirit is not going to tell you anything wrong. Situations and stuff that's going on the outside, right? That's the kind of stuff that'll tell you something wrong. Trying to be in the crowd, trying to satisfy people, being a people pleaser, that's what gets you hung up and stuck up. Okay? Straight up. Hindsight doesn't always have to be 2020. You can have 2020 immediately. if you go with your gut, and especially as a woman. God give us sixth sense about many things, right? Like boyfriends, husbands. You know what I'm saying? You know, you just wake up in the morning, you be like, wait a minute, something ain't right. That sixth sense is what you use and what the body and the mind and the spirit prepares you and keeps you out of danger. So we know we got the sense of touch, smell, hearing, taste, sight. With that sixth sense, it's all of them put together. It's all of those put together. But it's in the gut. As I said, when she said that, I was like, girl, all she needed was somebody who really was her friend, that she could communicate that to. Because sometimes when we're unfamiliar with that gut instinct, that gut feeling, we need somebody to stimulate one of our other five senses. We need to be able to hear somebody say, girl, I'm telling you, I don't think we need to get back in the car. Because you unfamiliar with working with that sixth sense. Sometimes you need to be able to see something to connect with that sixth sense. Maybe it was something in the back that you can see that triggers you to say, you know what? It look like it's something underneath his jacket. That's why you got to always be watching and always be checking mofos out. It ain't nothing wrong with going to a party, but you got to make sure that your senses is on point, especially that sixth sense. Let me keep on reading like we up in the Pentecostal church. The argument was with two people in the back, so I asked the driver to pull the car over like I'm done with this. And I should have stayed out the car. Like I should have not got back in the car. And they was like, Megan, just get back in the car. We're almost there. And like, just get back in. So I got back in the car. It's getting worse, she said. So when she heard the person say, Megan, get back in the car, was a contradiction of that sixth sense. It was a contradiction of all of the other five, because you seen it, smelt it, dealt it well. You knew from your other senses, I'm done with this. I need to be done with this. I need to be out of this car. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm hearing what's being said. I'm feeling some kind of way. You know, it's smelling up in this camp. All your other senses were in line with your sixth sense. Megan, get the fuck out the car. Regardless of whether or not we almost there or not, Megan, get out the car. She says, as the argument escalated, Megan says she got out the car, and that's when she accuses him of firing a gun at her several times. So I get out the car, and it's like everything happens so fast, and all I hear is this man screaming, and he said, dance, bitch. And he started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God, like he shot a couple of times, and I was so scared. So is he in the car shooting from the car, Megan? How is he? King asked her to clarify. He is standing over the window shooting, and I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick, the rapper said. She told King that at this time she thought, I don't know if he's going to shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Megan said she looked down at her feet and saw that she was bleeding, and she said she crawled into someone's driveway shocked that he had shot her. He pled not guilty to assault and weapons charges in connection with the shooting of Megan. She said after the shooting, she said Lanes apologized and offered her money not to say anything. If I am recollecting correctly, she said he offered her $1 million. She gonna do with $1 million that she ain't already got. See, that's why you gotta know your self-worth. Because at that time she did just like mofo, I don't need your money. I need my foot checked out. This mofo ain't kidding about her. And when a person ain't got nothing to lose, or they feel like they don't have nothing to lose, or they above stuff, you can't hang with them kind of people. When you got visions, goals, and dreams. And this girl had vision, goals, and dreams. She was finally realizing that I'm going to be somebody. I can be somebody. I'm hot right now. I've made it. I've done it. But she ain't got really nobody to share with because her mama gone. And if I'm not mistaken, I think her father's gone too. And so the only people you got to share with is people who call themselves your friends. Hold on, members. Hold on. After the shooting, Megan said Lane apologized and offered her money. He said, I'm sorry. Please don't tell nobody. I'll give y'all $1 million if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you offering me money right now? Help me. Like, if you sorry, just help me. What kind of no compassion, no care, no nothing for the girl. You straight up shooting out the window, allegedly. And you don't care that I got hit? Shortly after, the Los Angeles Police Department arrived at the scene after receiving calls of shots fired. Megan told King that she initially told officers that she had stepped on broken glass to protect the group in the wake of the police killing of George Floyd. She says, I was trying to protect all of us because I didn't want them to kill us. Like, even though this person just did this to me, my first reaction still was to try to save us. Like, I didn't want to see anybody die. So I just said, I stepped on glass. And of course, she was boohoo crying. That statement is something she says she wishes she had not said, as it is commonly used against her by people who did not believe her account of the night. She says, I wish I would have told the truth, but if it saved all of us from dying, then that's probably what it was meant to be. She was taken to the Cedar Sinai Medical Center where doctors told her she had bullet fragments both in both feet, of some of which she said still remain. She said that she blamed herself for what happened that night. How can you blame yourself because you just wanted to leave? Like, young, you got a right. This is America. You can leave when you want to leave, but you should have left by yourself. She said, I really thought that we were all friends, and it sometimes feel like I put the blame on myself because when my mom passed, connection, I just felt like I was looking for some type of family environment. Bam. There you go. There you go. I was letting so many people in. I didn't care who it was. I just wanted to feel like I got family and I got people that care about me. And I just and just I could hang out with everybody and I was just going through it. Mm. CBS said that they asked Sean Harley, the attorney for Lanes, about the allegations in the story, including the claim that her client offered the two women money to stay silent that night. The attorney said, look forward to addressing Ms. Pete's claims, including her inconsistencies, discrepancies, and omissions when his case goes to trial later this year. An attorney for the other friend in the car that night told CBS that his client is a private person and does not wish to make a public statement at this time. He said, I can assure you that my client has not been paid a dime by any party involved to remain silent as suggested in social media posts. He also reached out to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office about this case. They told us, we believe the evidence substantially supports the charges and allegations, and that evidence will be borne out in court. Megan said that since the allegation incident, her anxiety is worse. She finds it hard to trust people and struggles to hold a conversation longer than 30 minutes. She said it's during these times that Megan says she wishes she could talk to her mom. That's so freaking sad. That's so sad because I know what it is to want your mom. I know what that's like. I know what that's like going out into a world and feeling uncovered. I lost both of my parents I lost one when I was 22 and one when I was 23. And the vulnerability and the helplessness that you feel is unexplainable, because your parents shelter you from the world or from the harsh realities of the world. And even when you think you know, you don't know, and you don't find out what you don't know until you don't know it. You begin to protect yourself on one end and you leave yourself open on the other end because you're just looking for something and someone to connect to. And I totally can understand where she is. Now, some people saying she lying because her story keeps changing. But when you're going through trauma, you're not thinking, is my members talking back to me or what? Where is my members at? They talking back to me? Is my members hollering at your auntie? Every time we come into these chats, y'all be so freaking quiet. I'm going to put, let me see if I could put this down. Come on. No, it ain't work. They always listening, EJ. They always listening. Love my members. So I'm going to put this down in the comment section. You must show your face unless you are a member. In case y'all want to come up. I had a discussion. You can show me your face behind the screen. And if you want to use the icon, that's fine. So Megan said that she is not defending herself against people who don't believe she was shot that night. She said, like, I know this happened to me, and I'd rather it play out in court and the facts come out and everything comes out than we having to plead my case. She said, I am a victim. I'm not defending myself against anything, like something happened to me. You don't have to push them, Ray Della. It's fine. It's fine. You ain't gotta push them. They fine. They don't want to. If they don't want to hit the link, it's absolutely fine. In the comment section, when we get up off of here, members, I do want you all to talk. Let me know how you feel about everything. Because when I saw this, I just was like, that could be my daughter. That can be my child that wants to connect to somebody. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not on anybody's side, right? I'm just going off of based off this interview because I don't know nothing about him, and I damn sure don't know nothing about her. I'm going off of the Gayle King's interview that she said. I mean, what she said in the interview. But if what she said is true, and this guy did this to her, and she is indeed a victim, I pray that she gets healed from this. And I pray that this is a situation that has caused her to be wiser, that has caused her to realize that you cannot bunk with everybody, especially when you climbing up a ladder. When you climbing up a ladder in life, you don't need but so many people to hold the bottom for you. You really don't. You only need a good couple of people to hold that ladder down at the bottom. And if they're going to climb up there with you, you have to make sure that that ladder that y'all climbing up can bear the weight. You have to make sure that the people who are with you understand that once I get to a certain part on this ladder, it becomes vulnerable. And so while I'm going up it, I don't need you to come up it with me. I need you to hold this month. I need you to hold it. I don't need you to do anything else. Like straight up, seriously, I don't need you to do anything else. Can you show me your face behind screen? Put your camera on behind screen so I can make sure that everything copacetic, and then you can take your face off. How you doing, sweetie? With your face looking all serious and stuff. The hell you looking all serious? You ready to get your chat on? You ready to get your chat on? Okay. You can take your screen back off. You can take your face. Okay.
I
Hi. Okay.
Hey Auntie, I love you. I'm
Love
not a
you
member, by
too.
the way. Am I still allowed in?
Yeah.
Okay. So I haven't really been following this story like obsessively, but I just don't understand why people are saying things like she's crying on purpose or she was hanging around with him for clout. If she was hanging around with him for clout, which doesn't make sense because she was hotter than him at the time, in my opinion,
Okay.
it doesn't even explain the fact that she got shot. And would people be talking this way if she lost her foot as a result of this and it impacted her career to that level? Like I really don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something, but I just don't
I think I'm
understand.
missing something too because I've heard people, AK, who have said the fool la la, the foolishness of it all. I've heard people say that. Um, and I'm just thinking, it could have been career ending.
Yeah.
It really could have been. But even though it could have been career ending, you gotta know who you hanging with.
Yep.
And that's what I was talking about, that sixth sense. You gotta know that everybody ain't your friend. And I know what grief is like. Like I said, I've lost both of my parents, 5 months apart.
That's hard.
So I'm dealing with the trauma of losing both of them in 1 year, less than a year, 5 months, and going out into this world. But and it's not easy because you do want that sense of family back.
Yeah.
There's a longing and a hurt that you can't even describe. But you gotta know you still gotta protect yourself, and that everybody's not your friend.
No. And I think that was one of the things that she unfortunately had to learn the hard way. And I can really relate to that as well. the way that I grew up and with my family, and the issues that we had, and the deaths that we had and the drug abuse that we had. I've
Yeah.
always been looking for a mother figure and family, and calling my friends my sisters. And you do make some mistakes along the way when you are that kind of desperate in a sense to have that feeling of family and that support, because this world is really can be really hard sometimes,
Oh
and you can
yeah.
fall into emergencies, and you need that backup, and my friends, their family has helped me out just like they're my mom and dad, because they know I didn't have that. So but then you get in these situations with people that can be toxic, and you're not really thinking clearly, you know so.
So with the inconsistencies in her story, what do you believe is the reason why she has inconsistencies in her story? Because I think that a lot of people feel like, she's lying because, when things happen like that, trauma happens like that, you don't always see things the way that they are, right? And so your brain automatically is going to go into protection mode, right? To keep you from having a stroke or a heart attack, because trauma is trauma,
Yeah.
right? Why do you believe that there's inconsistencies in her story? Do you believe that she's lying about some of it or what?
I don't think she's lying. I think, like, even though apparently she's from the hood, I don't think she was involved with anything to that extent where she's ever been shot at before, or, just the pain and the shock of that experience. How could you think clearly?
True.
How would you ever imagine that somebody would shoot you in the foot? I don't know if she was in the car or outside of the car at the time, but it's just so unfathomable that Tory Lanez.
Who is he?
I mean, he's a rapper. He's from Canada, where I'm from as well.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I used to kind of like his music.
Do he got a
Um,
song that Auntie would know? Let me look him up real quick. Does he got a song that Auntie would know? Do you know any of his music? AK, did I lose you? I think I lost AK. AK, did I lose you? Dial back in, boo. I think I lost AK. So I ain't never heard of him. I don't know nothing about him. Let me see if she's back. AK. I want you all to let me know that I think she was trying to come back on and I clicked too late. But I would love for you all to let me know in the comment section. I know that my members are a little gun shy. Okay. Okay, she's back. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Auntie. I tried to play a song called "Say It" that I thought I knew, and then you can't
But
do
if you
two
play it,
YouTubes
they're
at
gonna
once.
flag. If you play it, they're gonna flag me.
No, oh, okay. I was trying to play it on a different browser, but it was YouTube, so I think you can't do two YouTubes at once.
Yeah, and they're gonna flag the dog dude out of my tail because his songs is copyrighted.
Well, earlier today I was in a live YouTube with a Toronto based hip hop uh y- you know podcast or whatever, and they were talking about the situation, and everyone in the comments was just slamming Megan. And even the host of the show was like, I don't understand why we think she's like, crying and faking it. And I was just in the comments like, are there any females in here that think she's lying? Like, I'm not trying to make turn this into another situation, but it was to that point where I was like, and there weren't any other females in there. I guess it's mostly like something that I don't know. But I guess it just comes down to maybe the hatred that females have against men in our society, like in our age group or something like that, where I don't know. I guess there's some scandalous things going on and people get burnt and people get hurt, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like that's the only way that I could justify that, because like I said, I couldn't, like I just need to see a female. I just want to see one female just say that she, is lying. Like just somebody needs to make it make sense. That's all.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So the men was for Tory and was saying but why would you fake something like that? I mean, if you got fragments, I don't understand. Here I go. If you got fragments in your foot, you're not going to cry. That's not traumatic. Like, I don't understand how they believe that that's not a traumatic incident.
Well, I mean, my thing is,
Did they
make
not find fragments, or is she
yeah,
lying?
I'm pretty sure they did. I mean, she definitely got shot. I mean, you
Right.
can't say that she didn't get shot. I think what the story is now is that they're claiming that it wasn't him. It was the girlfriend in the back seat, and they found gun residue on her hand or something, and like powder, and she was in a fight with Megan at the time because they were both sleeping with Tory Lanez or something like that. But I mean, at the end of the day, Megan the Stallion is a very, her persona and who she wants to come off as, and she's a strong woman, and she shows that at all points. At what point would she willingly want to show her weak side and cry?
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
I'm gonna have to do more research, and we're gonna have to come back here, and we're gonna have to, really have a conversation about it, because I haven't done a lot of research on it, but
yeah.
I did see an interview, and I saw it from a mother's perspective. I
Mhm.
saw it from my child being vulnerable if something happens to me,
Mhm.
and being with the wrong crowd and something happens. She
Mhm.
said that something told her to get out the car, but she got out the car, and he still popped off allegedly. I understand that they just, locked him up or something like that. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know, but I mean, apparently she, just to like go back a bit, apparently she claims that he said dance, B word dance. That would be something pretty crazy to make up, but
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is, huh?
He
Yeah.
said something about dance, bitch, dance.
Like that would be ridiculous. Like if she's lying, then I am done. I am done. Like if she's actually lying, like to think that he actually said that is just so ridiculous. Like, I mean, I believe her, but it's just like,
And maybe he's not really skilled with, sometimes people play with guns and they're not really skilled with them. And so maybe he was thinking, okay, if I fire this off, I'm just saying maybe he was thinking, if I fire this off, it's not going to do anything, not realizing that a bullet is right, is a projectile, right? And when it hits something, it's going to, tear it up. That's what it's meant to do. So you can't just shoot. Like some people think you can shoot up in the air, that bullet's going to land some damn where.
mm-hmm.
So if he told her dance, bitch, dance, was he trying to? And again, I don't know a lot about the story. Was he trying to shoot around her feet? Is that what she's saying happened?
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have been shooting at all.
Period. Point blank. I agree with you. I think that when a woman says something has happened to her, we have to believe them.
And people are calling her a rat. I mean,
All
my
right.
understanding is that, well, she's a rat now because la di da, she's, but my understanding is that she protected him at this on the scene based off what happens to African Americans when the police are called. That's what I remember. But yeah, we really need to look into this because I've just been kind of just grazing it, and now I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated.
Yeah,
At what point in 2022 are we doing this?
true. I think that's why I'm interested in the story. I'm going to do me some research on this sucker. And we're going to come back and have another discussion. And I would love for you to come back, AK, and we could have a discussion. I think I don't know enough about it, and I really want to know more about them and about their characters, right, as people, because she said that this was done in the height of the George Floyd murder, and it really things were heightened everywhere. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of black people do not have good relationships with police officers anyway. So I could see her possibly lying
Yeah.
to save everybody. That's understandable. I mean, and then a lot of times people think that when situations happen, you should not call the police. But don't call the police. That's the last thing you want. But they're there to serve. But in this country, unfortunately, that's not always the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand where she may have been thinking in her mind, let me de-escalate this.
Yeah, I think she's mentioned at some point that she was trying to save people,
Yeah.
but then also she was trying to save herself. And at one point, Tori was like, here, I'll give you $1 million, and she was like, "What are you talking about? Can you just help me here?" Like, so I guess she was crawling somewhere. Um,
But I'm wondering whether or not was there any drug use or alcohol? Because they
I don't
were
know.
just leaving a party.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure there was probably drinking.
Yeah. Well, I thank you so much for coming on. When I come back out here, would you make sure you come on and we can discuss this for you said you live in Canada
Yeah, I live in
and that's where
Vancouver.
Tori is from?
Yeah, I believe he's from Toronto. So,
Okay.
yeah. Um, I kind of think he's been involved in some shady things before. Like, I need to look into this because I might be getting him confused with somebody else. But anyway, before I go, um, right now I'm watching The Girl from Plainville. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Mm-mm.
Totally. It's about the girl that was texting her boyfriend and coaxed him into committing suicide. So
Jesus.
it's on the Women's Network right now. I'm surprised you didn't hear about it in the news. It was a huge thing in the news, because the police ended up finding the text messages, and it's possibly another topic that I would love to discuss. I'm also extremely curious about it, and I just started the first episode. So,
And what network?
the Women's Channel,
Lifetime?
Women's Network, W.
I don't think we have that.
Okay. Well, it's called The Girl from Plainville.
The Girl from Plainville.
That's the city that she lived in.
Here in the United States?
Yes. I don't remember the state, but they had met when they took a trip to Florida, and they lived an hour apart and kind of had like a texting relationship that was pretty
Mm-hmm.
intense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just horrible. Like, just before I got on this live, I
It's
was
on
actually,
Hulu. We have it, but we have to look at it on Hulu.
yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
yeah, that's something to get riled up about. I'm just like, I just can't believe, like, you can actually read the transcription of the text messages between them two on the last day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was literally messaging him up to the point where he did it, which was in the car through the carbon monoxide or whatever it's called.
Oh
But
my God. Well, thank you, AK, for letting me know that. I'm definitely gonna look that up.
it's just too much. So yeah, let's get riled up, Auntie. There's so much foolery going on. Okay, I'll
It
let you go.
is. I love you.
Love you. Let's research this.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. That's very interesting. So she said that this is called, so it's on Hulu. Um, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 92%. The Girl from Plainville. So this is something that we're going to have to look at. But I will be doing more research on this because I really wanted to talk about it because when I saw the interview, that's what I mean. I have been seeing the headlines and stuff like that, but I'm an old kid, so I'm not really. And I like her, right? I just thought she just popped up on the scene, and she's been extremely successful in her career. She's a beautiful young lady, but I wasn't following all the foo la la. And when I think that what made me follow the foo la la was when she said the about her mom being deceased, and that hit home for me because I remember me at that age um losing my parents. So y'all let me know down in the comment section. Members, thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I know that all of you all are not talking in the chat, but I still appreciate my members being here. Thank you to everybody else who is following Auntie advice and decided that you wanted to come into the room. I appreciate that. EJ, thank you for holding it down in the comment section. EJ been holding it down. I love you all to pieces, and y'all have a great night. Remember, y'all auntie is gonna be doing some research on this, and we're gonna come back and holler at each other about this. Love y'all.